If you are an athlete in high school, then you better be doing one of these extracurriculars. Of course, I graduated from high school myself, and there were a lot of extracurriculars out there that I could have done and I should have dived deep more into, but I still have done these, and I'll show you what I've done when I was in high school. The first thing is volunteering. So for my high school, you had to complete at least 40 hours of volunteering in order to graduate. So I volunteered in food pantry, at a Boys and Girls Club, tutoring, and hosting my own community cleanup for the track because there was a lot of garbage around the area that needed to be cleaned. Of course, I reached over the 40-hour minimum, which is totally fine because I really enjoyed giving back to the community and making it more cleaner for other people to use. But you don't have to be extreme like me. If you have requirements, of course, fulfill them. And if you have extra time, do more. But the main benefits of volunteering is you meet people out of your high school, you meet new people, different people, you get to give back to your community, you get to make the community a better place, and you feel good in the process. And that's what really matters because this community helped you grow, so it's really good to give it back to them. Volunteering also helps you narrow down your interests. So if you want to volunteer in something like the hospital, go right ahead. All right, the next extracurricular you can do is having a part-time job, which is also something I did. Now, if you haven't watched any other videos I made, I'll also give you the story of my part-time jobs that I did. So the first one was working as a cashier for a pizza restaurant. So what I did was take people's orders via the phone or in person or even Grubhub itself because it just prints out and I just give it to the people who are there. Then I made frozen yogurts, packaged foods, I had to clean, I had to restock, I had to do everything. Most of it was a little bit sketchy, but the good thing is that I learned how to go out of my comfort zone because during that time, I was definitely very, very antisocial and I lacked the social skills and the communication skills to actually be a better person to society and even be a better athlete. Also with this part-time job, it helps you time management things because it's a very chaotic environment, especially for a restaurant industry. Restaurant industries are very chaotic. Also with the chaos, there's a lot of stress that comes with it. So learning how to handle the stress as well really helps you with athletic performance because when you're in competition, you'll be in a high stress moment. And if you know how to handle this situation, then your athletic performance would be better than it was before because you learned how to handle the stress. Now for my second job, I also did a restaurant, but instead of being just a cashier, it's more just food running, which also had a lot of management, making sure everything was correct, making sure that I knew where everything was going, make sure everything was running smoothly. What that means is that the guests has everything they needed, the servers are okay, they aren't overwhelmed, and that's just how everything moves smoothly. But with a part-time job, you get money. And that's one of the things I advocate for high school students is to get a job, learn how to make money, learn how to save money, and how to manage their money themselves. Also having a part-time job within your community, you got to give back to your community in this way, but instead of just giving your time and hours and effort, you also get money in return. Some job suggestions are being a camp counselor. I kind of did that for the Boys and Girls Club, but that was a volunteering job. Second is restaurant, which I pretty much did my whole high school and part of college times. Third, fast food. I'm sure fast food is hiring, so they'll take anybody. Fourth is grocery store. I know a lot of my friends worked in grocery stores, so if you want to be in that kind of mellow environment, not really fast paced as a restaurant, but you're still giving customer service, grocery stores are the way to go. And the fifth is tutoring, and that is also something I did, which kind of went over my head. I didn't remember, but I did tutoring. First, it was volunteering. Then it became a paying position. So I tutored, once or twice a week. And that really helped you develop the skill of teaching a new skill. So what I did was teach math. I had to learn how to create the lesson plan, learn to project my ideas and make sure the student knew what I was talking about, and so the student can excel in their course. Of course, for tutoring, you won't be an expert, but it's still great to learn how to talk to people, giving them what they need, making sure they're excelling at their work and actually benefiting from the tutoring session. If there is an age limit for the work, then make sure you get a work permit, fill that out. I just suggest just to get a job whenever you can. The next extracurricular, which kind of ties in with 1 and 2, is learning a new skill. You can learn a new skill from a job or volunteering, but also you can take extra courses, maybe from a community college or an online college. Learning a new skill really helps you learn more than what you learn in school, because sometimes you have to take classes in school that you don't want to take. So take an online class that you actually want to do. That really helps you grow because you actually want to learn, you actually want to dive deep more into it, and in turn, you're actually going to use it in your life. There are a lot of skills out there that you can learn, like coding, stocks or trading, a new language, or something that you can actually apply to your life, like happiness. I'm sure there's some course about mental health, how to be happy. It can pretty much be anything. So for my high school, they had online courses that we can take, and one of the things I did was I took psychology, what was it called, like forensics, some interesting things that my high school recommended. And it's kind of weird to take those, but sometimes just take some weird class. You might like it, you might not, but in turn you'll learn something. You either like that class or you don't, but hey, you learned a new skill, you took it, and that's all that really matters. The last extracurricular you can do is researching your interests. For me, that meant track. So junior year, senior year, what I did was I researched how to train for track, the technique, what my angle should look like, gear, coaches out there I can follow, pretty much everything about track. I dove deep, I Googled, I used social media, and I learned. And that's what you can do with your time, is to research your interests. It's not really an extracurricular, but I say it is because you're using up all your time to actually dive deep into something that you're interested in. Maybe you're researching something that you don't know that you're interested in, but hey, you're doing the work. You're trying to figure out if you actually like it or not. So in turn, you don't have to spend the time in college or another time to actually figure out if you want to do it. Of course, you can do academic research. I just can't really give you an example of that because I didn't do that myself. Unless you're trying to go to college and you want to find a major that fits you, then doing research for that is good. For example, if you want to go into a certain profession, you can Google or look up on YouTube like the life that they do, what requirements or certifications that they need, and you can find out more about that career. That's all the examples I can give you for researching. Now, if you're trying to figure out what habits you need to stop doing, then click this video right here where I tell you the 3 habits you need to stop doing in order to improve your life.